As a family member, I am always concerned for my grandparents' health because of their old age. When I hear about them being sick or having to go into a surgery, I am always nervous to see what the outcome is. Imagine if you were me waiting in the waiting room or waiting for a phone call for news on your grandparents' condition. Other people around the world are going through the same hardships. Not everyone has health care, but for those who do, appreciate it greatly. For those who have it and aren't able to use it are mostly the elderly. When they need help the most, doctors aren't there to give it. This is a problem, especially when someone's life could be threatened by this. Stopping ageism would relieve stress and let us know for a fact that our family member will be alright. In the book Between Shades of Grey, Lena and her family face hardships while traveling in cattle cars on their way to Siberia. Not only are they separated from their father, but they also experience ageism along the way. While experiencing this, they try and help, but also have to help themselves in order to survive in hopes they will meet their father again. The journey being long and hard as they try and survive with the people in their cattle car, having ages ranging from an infant to an elderly man. Now in this book, ageism isn't only about the elderly, but the children as well. An example would be when Lena and her family's cattle car arrives in Altai and the woman whose house they're staying in wishes for them to pay her rent. The woman is using their younger age as an advantage for her rent to be paid since she will not be working while they are there. Lena and her family, along with the others they arrived with, will be working day and night in order to get their food. Ageism in Between Shades of Grey revolves around the two children, their story, and their journey to safety. In the article, Ageism in Healthcare Hurts Our Patients goes into detail about how older adults that are 65 and over will outnumber children younger than age 5 in medical training they receive in medical school. This means that older people come in more than parents bringing their children. This shows ageism just by comparing the two and their age differences. The article goes into more depth about how pediatric units are common at most hospitals and plenty of research exists regarding the care and treatment of children. The only thing mentioned is that most hospitals have more knowledge on helping children than they do for older people. By doing this, it shows that most hospitals are excluding older adults from clinical trials, which then turns into ageism. The last thing about this article is that it gives you a definition of ageism and facts about adults in healthcare. It tells you how many adults older than the age of 50 experience discrimination in the healthcare setting. 6,017 older adults have complained about healthcare, and if you keep reading, it mentions that those who had reported the most frequent discrimination were most likely to have developed or new worsened abilities. The article Ageism in Healthcare, Time for a Change gives you plenty of information on how ageism needs to stop before it spreads more than it already has. Aging inevitably involves an increased demand for healthcare services at some level, is one thing mentioned in the article. When using this statement, the author is putting it out there that older adults do, in fact, need better healthcare. This article not only acknowledges that ageism exists everywhere, but they also acknowledge that they provide the quality care for the older patients as they do for the younger patients. They are more for helping the older adults with their health than wanting the money. This is a prime example of stopping ageism and treating everyone as an equal. No matter the age of the person, the group of doctors only cares for the patient, not about the money. Most places will be like this and others will not. We can only hope that in the future more businesses will accept older people like this one did and push us in the right direction. By doing this, it helps those who need it the most. The article Ageism in Healthcare Needs to End is about a doctor who is all for stopping ageism. A recent medical graduate, Nathan Stahl, would like to specialize in geriatrics when none of his fellow classmates would. Stahl notices how old people with multiple chronic illnesses are often viewed as second-rate patients, which frustrates him beyond compare. Throughout the entire article, Stahl learns more about treating the elderly with the help from medical mentors. This is taking a right step into a good change for a good cause. Because healthcare is important in the world today, this article helps us realize that if someone has it, then they should be able to use it no matter what age they are. Stahl is someone that will change the medical world for the better. The country's elderly demographic is set to double in the next 20 years, and seniors deserve the same dignity, care, and options as other patients, says Stahl. As the word begins to spread, elderly will be treated equally in healthcare and hopefully won't have to worry about their sickness any more than they already have to. This can change the medical field greatly. As a family member, I'm always concerned for the health of my family. Anyone who has an older family member is willing to help them no matter what. Doctors everywhere are concerned for their patients no matter the age and also concerned for their own family member's health. So when a family member can't get the help they need, you can't even imagine the frustration that we are facing. I know for sure I would give up anything for a sick family member who needs it. It may not be much, but I bet it would help in some way. Everybody cares for their family and is willing to do anything for them. Having ageism in healthcare just puts those who need it aside. Stopping this will take away the stress, the worry, and help with everyone's health. Ageism around the world puts those who aren't certified to use healthcare at more risk for their health and safety. While we look at the examples from the sources above and really think about it, we aren't helping anybody. We shouldn't be worried about the money, but their safety instead. Safety should be a number one priority for those who need it desperately, just as Dr. Stahl said. This is not something to take lightly, as we notice that safety is involved. Doctors need to realize that money is not better than safety and health, and help those who need the help. If someone can't use their health care, then it is our job to help them. Help them to have a better life without them having to worry about a medical cost that they can barely pay because of health care. The examples shown above are only a few out of many. Ageism isn't only in healthcare but all around the world, taking place in businesses, job applications, and activity groups. To put a stop to this, we need as much help as possible because the task at hand isn't small at all. The ageism needs to stop immediately. Ageism in healthcare is unacceptable and unnecessary. Imagine if it was you who had healthcare and weren't able to use it because you are over the age limit or you are too old. Stopping this will help more people than you could even think of. So help us help them by following us on Twitter at StopAgeism and make a difference in their life. Thank you for listening.